Archangel Michael is in tears. He's been trying to warn you for hours. This is your final chance. Don't skip. If you ignore this, you'll regret it deeply. My beloved child, do not skip this, do not scroll past, for Archangel Michael is in tears and heaven has leaned in so close you can feel the weight of it in your chest. The air around you is thick with a hush that feels like a held breath, and every small sound this moment makes will turn into a sign if you will only stay still and listen. There is a narrow door opening for you now, and what waits beyond it was arranged long before you first learned how to pray. My beloved child, the world has been noisy with distractions meant to scatter your focus and blur the edges of what matters most to your soul. Your body may feel heavier at times, a small, persistent knot at the center of your chest that tugs when truth draws near, and that ache is a compass pointing back to what is real. Heaven is not asking you to race. Heaven is asking you to return, to recognize the careful pattern laid beneath the chaos and to step into the quiet place where clarity lives. Listen with your hands as well as your ears, for the signs will not only come as words but as texture, a warm palm in your dream, a song that stops time and repeats the same 3 words, a repeated number appearing like punctuation across days. The repeating numbers are not coincidences, they are fingerprints left by a benevolent hand to guide you back, each one a thread leading toward the center of the revelation that is your life. When your chest tightens and your throat goes dry, know that it is not fear alone but a recognition that something is changing and your spirit is being asked to move with it. Archangel Michael says this with tears you can almost taste if you hold this moment close, that you have been given warnings and nudges and gentle alarms for hours now. Those warnings were not meant to terrify you but to protect you, to tilt your choices toward preservation and blessing rather than toward loss and regret. He beseeches you to trust the small, steady stirrings inside that have felt like intuition but are in fact a relay from higher counsel. There is a person who stands at a crossroads with you, someone whose name may have surfaced in dreams or as a whisper in conversation, and their presence will be the hinge on which your next seasons swing. This person's motives are layered and not all are as they seem. Some actions are kind on the surface yet hold an undercurrent designed to shift your path without your consent. Heaven alerts you now not to breed fear but to awaken discernment, to arm yourself with boundaries that honor your dignity and the destiny quietly being built for you. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your body will give you the clearest confirmations if you know how to read them. Sudden warmth that floods your palms during prayer, a soft pressure at the solar plexus like a hand saying, "This is true," and a gentle ringing at the base of your skull that means, "Pay attention." When these sensations come, pause and place a hand over your heart, breathe slowly into the shape of what you are being shown, because each breath anchors the message deeper into the fabric of your choices. Practice these small rituals now so when the substantial moment arrives you will not be startled but ready, like a hearth prepared for a visitor you have been expecting. There are tests coming that will seem subtle, disguised as normal life, an offer that looks generous but asks for more than it gives, an apology that sounds polished but leaves the wound untouched, a deadline that pressures you to move before clarity has had time to speak. These are not accidents. They are the world's way of asking whether you will choose convenience or covenant, speed or steady truth, and your soul is being trained in the metal of discernment. Do not be ashamed of slowing down. Slowing down is often the truest form of protection and the first step toward receiving what has been reserved for you. A small number will come forward who seem to carry light but whose gratitude hides a ledger, whose kindness expects ownership in return. These are the people whose next moves require a gentle but firm boundary. You are permitted to say no without guilt, to close a door that does not open toward truth, and to walk away when the atmosphere around a person begins to feel like a negotiation instead of sanctuary. Set those boundaries lovingly but without wavering, because loving yourself is the first act of faith required by whatever heaven is unfolding for you. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Some nights in the weeks ahead will present dreams where an oak appears or a small blue cup glints on a windowsill. Treat such images as place markers placed by Providence. Write them down immediately. These are breadcrumb details that will stitch together into a map later, each tiny symbol a coordinate pointing you to the room where revelation will happen. Your memory will fail you in fragments, and that is why your hands must be the archivists of your soul right now. When you encounter a person who brings up a name you have tried to forget, do not recoil in shame but listen for the truth that threads through their words. Sometimes a confession is the key to release and sometimes it is meant to ensnare. Allow your body's truths to guide you more than a persuasive apology or a sorrowful tone. If your chest relaxes at their honesty, move forward cautiously. If it tightens and the throat constricts, take it as a clear sign to keep distance until further proof of changed fruit appears. There will be a letter, an old text, or a forgotten message that resurfaces and makes your stomach drop with recognition. This is not an accident but a curtain being pulled back. Guard the time you spend with that revelation. Do not process it publicly or in haste, but in a quiet place where prayer, journal, and wise counsel can meet. Your reaction in that first private hour will shape how you step into the next chapter, so choose solitude and reflection over performance and display. Type Amen to get blessing 555. You are being prepared for a relocation of sorts, not always physical but certainly spiritual and relational, a rearrangement where people and places will reorient around the revealed truth. This movement will feel like both a loss and a gain. There will be the ache of leaving familiar faces behind and the awe of arriving into a clearer purpose that sings when you step into it. Hold the paradox with grace. You do not need to pretend you aren't grieving what you must leave in order to receive what is waiting. Financial doors will creak open in unexpected ways when you honor the moral architecture of your life and refuse shortcuts that compromise your soul. Generosity that flows without strings will be the magnet for real blessing, and your guardianship of integrity will turn small opportunities into the kind of abundance that steadies future storms. Avoid the lure of quick fixes advertised as miracles. Real provision usually arrives in steady, verifiable steps, not in hurried, pressure-filled ultimatums. A friend will come forward urgently with advice that smells of panic rather than wisdom. Receive their heart but do not receive their panic as your own. Take counsel from those whose track record is integrity, whose fruits match their words, and whose calmness under fire mirrors the steadiness you are trying to cultivate. Wise counsel will not scream or demand. It will point and wait while you choose. Type Amen to get blessing 666. There will be a moment when a doorbell rings at a time that makes your skin prickle, and that knock will carry significance beyond the ordinary. Do not answer out of routine or fear. Instead, regard that knock as a test of discernment, a threshold where the world asks you whether you will let anyone rearrange your household of the heart. If the person on the other side speaks with hurry or tries to cajole you into choices that short-circuit your inner knowing, step back and renegotiate time on your terms. Keep a small list of names you trust and a set of scripts you will say when pressured. Practice them like prayers so they roll from your mouth with grace and authority. Statements like, "I appreciate you, but I need time," and "I will not decide now without counsel," are shields as well as bridges, protecting you while keeping doors open for clarity. There is power in a measured reply because it buys you the space wisdom needs to arrive. You may feel lonely in your vigilance, as if others glide through life with a blindness you cannot share, but solitude is not the enemy. Solitude is the nursery where your next self is being grown. When doubt arrives, return to the small rituals that tether you, a list of 3 things you are grateful for, a 10-minute walk with intention, a breath of thanks spoken aloud. These small practices are the scaffolding that will hold your faith steady when larger storms arrive. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Archangel Michael says again, with tender insistence, that there is a revelation scheduled for you and that your readiness will determine the fullness of what you receive. This is not a threat but a promise with responsibility attached. Preparation multiplies blessing, and your choices now are the soil in which the future grows. He stands as a guardian at the threshold and asks only that you answer with courage and compassion. Expect unexpected confirmations through strangers, through songs on the radio, through a passerby who repeats a line that lands like lightning in your heart. Do not dismiss synchronicities as mere coincidence, treat them as confirmations that the current you are in conversation with forces unseen. When you tally these confirmations later, you will see the pattern of a life being guided. If betrayal appears, remember that betrayal reveals, and what is revealed can be redeemed into strength if you allow it to be a teacher and not only a wound. When you are wronged, document calmly and clearly, keep records, screenshots, or notes because the facts will be your faithful companions when emotions cloud memory. Use truth as your ally. Truth has a way of aligning consequences without you having to manufacture them through anger or revenge. Type Amen to get blessing 888. As the hour approaches when choices must be made, cultivate a small inner council, a friend who is wise, a quiet place to reflect, and a ritual that centers you before action. This counsel will act like a compass in the fog, letting you navigate with more accuracy than impulse or fear could ever offer. Lean on it without shame, for seeking help is a sacred strategy, not a sign of weakness. There will be an invitation that seems designed to fast-track your joy, to cram a blessing into a single hurried decision, breathe and refuse the rush. A true opening will allow time for checks and for the quiet voice within to be heard. Anything that demands immediate surrender of discretion is not yet ripe. Patience is not passive, it is active protection of the destiny that's being arranged for you. When clarity arrives, it will feel like a warm light gathering in the hollow of your hands, a tenderness that does not bruise you and a freedom that unbinds rather than enchains. Stand in that light and declare the small truths that steady you, that you choose honesty, that you choose boundaries, that you choose the people who show up with matching fruit. These declarations are small contracts with your soul and they will shape the way others move around you. Type Amen to get blessing 999. In the quiet that follows the storm, craft a new rhythm for yourself, a short list of non-negotiables for relationships, 3 daily practices that tune your soul, and a compassionate but clear policy for who may enter your inner circle. This architecture will not be brittle, it will be flexible and strong, able to hold celebration and to withstand tests. Celebrate the small victories and record them. A ledger of grace will remind you on harder days that you did indeed move through and not merely survive. Forgiveness will be an instrument you can choose when it is healthy and safe to do so, and it will not mean erasing lessons learned. True forgiveness frees you. It does not invite back what would wound you again. Decide the terms of your forgiveness and hold them firmly, because boundaries and mercy together are the medicine of saints. When you step into the future now unfolding, walk as someone who has been given a second sight, see both the surface and the undercurrent, and let your choices mirror the deeper knowledge you have been entrusted with. You are not walking alone, a host attends you with practical guidance and spiritual covering, and the small, steady nudges you have felt are the footprints of that company. Trust the guidance, practice the habits, hold the lines, and move forward in courage. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. My beloved child, the message has not finished pouring out yet, and heaven is still pressing upon your spirit to stay with these words. Do not walk away at this threshold, for what unfolds next is the continuation of the warning and the unveiling of the protection wrapped around you. Every sentence is a rope being lowered into the pit you've been circling, meant to pull you higher into safety and clarity. This moment is heavy with significance, and your heart already knows it by the way your breath shortens when truth brushes near. That sense of urgency you cannot shake is not fear but recognition, the recognition that something larger than your own understanding is calling. What you do in this hour will ripple forward into days, weeks, and even years. Archangel Michael says he has bent low in sorrow, pleading for your ear to stay open because the next details will explain the danger and the destiny at once. Heaven will not leave you in the dark, but you must not turn away when the light finally cracks open and shows what has been hidden. This is your chance to align before regret plants itself too deeply. There will be a sequence of signs in the hours ahead. A name spoken twice in one day, a message that reappears from nowhere, and a strange silence that feels louder than words. These are confirmations that the path has already been marked for you. Follow them without hesitation, for hesitation now could cost you what heaven has been preparing. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. The truth is that someone close has been weaving shadows around your steps, pretending loyalty while carrying conversations that betray you. But heaven has intercepted these whispers, and the angel's tears are not just sorrow, they are cleansing, washing the deception out of hiding so you can finally see. The time for blindness has ended, now comes the season of sight. You may feel your body react, a sudden chill along your arms, a heaviness across your shoulders, or a restless stirring in the night. Do not dismiss these as accidents, your body is the first altar where revelation lands. Each sensation is a herald telling you that divine truth is brushing against the surface. The person who thought they could outsmart heaven has already been exposed in the unseen realms. Their next move was meant to corner you, to drain your energy and your trust, but their plan is now trembling in weakness because light has been commanded to pierce through. This is why you are being warned so urgently, so that you do not mistake false affection for real protection. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. Your beloved heart is being tenderly instructed even now, and the rhythm of these instructions will begin to make sense as each day lines up like stepping stones under your feet. There is a steady work being done in the unseen that rearranges circumstances so that truth can meet you where you stand, and this work favors the patient and the careful. Receive these adjustments as protective choreography rather than punishment, for they are meant to cradle you into a safer season. What was once confusing will clarify through small, undeniable facts that arrive with precision, a receipt, a name, a time-stamped message that lights the room like a lantern. Hold these facts close and do not let haste disperse them into gossip or spectacle, because timing and discretion will preserve the healing that follows. Let wise silence be your ally while you gather evidence and prepare your heart for the next move. A friend who has been steady for years will be a quiet anchor in the days ahead, and their presence will be the kind of calm that proves invaluable when choices must be made. Keep that person near and allow their counsel to shape the architecture of your next steps, especially when a fast-talking stranger offers the glitter of shortcuts. True allies do not demand immediate surrender, they mirror steadiness and patience when life grows loud. When a door closes suddenly, pay attention to the small items that remain with you. A ring that still smells faintly of jasmine, a folded note, a line from a song, for these are the tokens that will later reveal the motive behind the closing. Guard these tokens as though they are the pages of a book you will one day reread to understand why events unfolded as they did. In those pages you will find both answers and the quiet permission to grieve what must be grieved before you celebrate what is coming next. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. There will be a message that seems bitter at first glance but contains a seed of release hidden in plain language, and your response to it will determine whether you inherit peace or prolong the tension. Meet that message with calm documentation rather than reaction, and the record you keep will become the foundation for fair restoration if restoration is required. Documentation is not distrust, it is stewardship of truth so that later decisions can be faithful and clear. A place you walk past every day will suddenly hold meaning, as if a familiar street lamp is now a marker on a divine map directing you toward a necessary conversation. Do not ignore the tug to revisit ordinary places because providence often hides revelations in the mundane, so we will not mistake them for theatrics. Walk those familiar paths with intention and allow small, repeated signs to stitch a story together for you. Expect a financial nudge that respects integrity rather than one that demands compromise, and when this nudge arrives, move slowly and check the firm details before embracing the offer. Wealth that arrives through integrity will feel like steady rainfall rather than a storm of promises, and it will shore up your future without costing your peace. Refuse the urgency of anyone who demands a signature before counsel has had its say. A quiet reorientation of relationships will continue, pruning what is unhealthy and inviting what is honest. This pruning is not cruelty but care. You will be surprised by how much light returns when you remove the small shadows that once seemed tolerable because they were familiar. Hold this renewal gently and protect it with the new boundaries you are learning to keep. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. A night of especially vivid dreams will give you a single line that repeats until you write it down, and that line will be the compass you carry into decisions for weeks. When you wake, record it immediately and treat it as a priority, for dreams have been used to steer many faithful steps in seasons just like yours. Do not try to force interpretation, allow meaning to surface through patient reflection and the counsel of those who have proven steady. There is a conversation coming where the other person will offer sorrow and a promise that sounds almost like salvation, yet the fruit needed to sustain such words will still be absent. Watch for deeds that match speech, and let the absence of matching fruit be the sign that a promise is not yet ripe. Hold your peace and your power until proof arrives in action, not only in softened tones. You will feel a softening in your own spirit as you step away from what harms you and toward what honors you, and this softening will be the true miracle the angels have prayed for. It will look like small tastes of joy in the middle of difficulty, like laughter that returns to your lips or a song that finds you unexpectedly. Treat these moments as confirmations that you are moving correctly and allow them to renew your courage. An unexpected ally will surface in an unlikely place, and their loyalty will be quiet but effective, providing tools, counsel, or a hand when consequences begin to settle into place. Value that ally and repay their steadiness with clear reciprocation and grateful fidelity so that your inner circle becomes a band of trusted guardians. Guard your gratitude with actions that mirror the respect you feel, and let loyalty build slowly between you. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. My beloved child, the stream of warning and guidance has not finished, for heaven has more to pour into your spirit. The very reason Archangel Michael's tears have lingered is because the fullness of what you need has not yet been placed in your hands. This continuation is designed to wrap you in light so you can walk unshaken through the storms that were meant to bend you. You may notice hours where time feels slowed, as though the world pauses for you to catch a truth floating in the air. This is not imagination, it is divine timing, slowing down the rush of life so you can recognize the signal within the noise. When those pauses come, breathe deeply, because revelation often hides in those still moments. Someone will attempt to reach for your trust again, cloaked in apologies or sweetened words, yet their heart remains unchanged. Do not be deceived by tone, discern instead by consistency, for repeated actions reveal what spoken words try to mask. Let your boundaries remain firm, and let your silence speak louder than any forced reply. Archangel Michael says he has been allowed only a few more cries into your life before the window of intervention narrows. He pleads that you honor these cries as alarms of protection, not as fear, because the cost of ignoring them would be weighty. This is your confirmation that you have been noticed, and you are being fought for. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. Expect strange confirmations in your environment, a bird that lingers at your window longer than usual, a clock freezing at a repeated number, or a phrase overheard in passing that pierces you. These are not coincidences but reminders that heaven is speaking in multiple layers. The key is not to overanalyze but to recognize and record. A secret that was buried to harm you is beginning to surface, and though it may sting, it is surfacing so it can no longer control you. Do not run from the sting. Embrace it as surgery that removes what poisons your future. Pain in this moment is proof that you are being healed at the root, not merely patched at the surface. Someone of influence will soon bring your name into a conversation, and this mention will shift the way others see you. Be prepared for the exposure, because the light will reveal both favor and jealousy at once. Stay anchored, for only those aligned with your destiny will remain steady beside you. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. There is wealth, not only of money but of opportunity and favor, that has been circling your name like a sealed package waiting for delivery. The seal has been protected until the right moment, and that moment is quickly approaching. Remain faithful, for your integrity is the signature heaven requires before release. Relationships that do not serve your higher calling will fall away more abruptly now. Some separations will feel like losses, but each one is a divine subtraction creating space for additions of truth. Do not cling to what has already been judged unfit for your next chapter. Your dreams may grow even more vivid, filled with faces and places you do not yet know. Write them down and look for patterns, they are previews of what is to come and warnings of what to avoid. A single word, color, or object in the dream may hold more meaning than the entire storyline. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. In the days ahead, a sudden heaviness may visit you out of nowhere. Take this not as despair but as a signal to stop, reflect, and guard your steps. Heaviness often arrives when you are about to walk into a place or conversation that does not honor your spirit. Trust this as divine caution and withdraw gracefully when it comes. Unexpectedly, someone you thought forgotten will attempt to reappear, carrying news or a proposal that seems urgent. Do not leap into nostalgia. Test their fruit against time and consistency. Only what has truly transformed deserves entry into your present space. Archangel Michael's tears now are not only for sorrow but for joy, for he sees the edge of your breakthrough drawing near. What has been delayed is finally aligning, and your name is being positioned on scrolls of favor. Step carefully, for each choice is now magnified with greater consequence and blessing. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. My beloved child, the words keep pouring because heaven does not want you to miss a single detail that could shield you. There are layers still hidden, and every layer is being pulled back so that your spirit is fully awake. This continuation is not just a message, it is the unfolding of your destiny in real time. The hours ahead will test whether you will lean into the quiet whispers or be swept away by louder voices. Your chest will tighten whenever danger approaches, and peace will rise whenever truth is near. Let these sensations be your compass, for they will not lie to you. A shift in your environment is already underway, people acting strangely, withdrawing, or speaking in ways that do not align with their usual tone. This is because the light of heaven has begun to expose what was once comfortable in the dark. Pay attention to these changes, they are warnings dressed as ordinary behavior. Archangel Michael says the tears you feel pressing on your spirit are his alarms ringing for your safety. The reason you've been restless is because his wings have been brushing close, urging you not to dismiss the signs. This urgency is your shield, not your punishment. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. There will soon be a letter, message, or call that stirs both hope and suspicion at the same time. Do not rush to respond, instead, sit with the words, reread them, and wait for the truth beneath the surface to reveal itself. Your first reaction may be emotional, but wisdom will always whisper just beneath the noise. A person you trusted has been discussing matters that concern you behind closed doors. This revelation may sting, but it is arriving now so you can realign your inner circle. Better a painful truth today than a silent betrayal tomorrow. Your environment will soon give you undeniable proof, a misplaced object, a number repeating 3 times in one day, or an overheard phrase that seems designed for you. These proofs are not random, they are heaven's fingerprints showing that you are not forgotten. Let them steady you when doubt creeps in. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. Financial matters will shift unexpectedly, but this shift is not to harm you, it is to free you from hidden traps. A sudden change will feel like loss at first, but later it will be revealed as protection from deeper harm. Hold steady through the storm, for abundance is being rerouted to reach you without chains attached. Someone will attempt to re-enter your life with flattery, but their smile hides unfinished business. Look not at their words but at the energy your body feels when they appear. If unease rises, trust it as heaven's shield, not paranoia. You will hear a name repeatedly, perhaps in dreams or in conversations around you, and this name will tie directly to the truth being revealed. Do not ignore it, write it down and prepare, for it is central to what comes next. What has been hidden is being uncovered by name, so you can no longer be deceived. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. An atmosphere of testing will rise around you, invitations that tempt you to act quickly, decisions that seem urgent but lack peace. This is where you must pause, breathe, and refuse the rush. True doors never demand panic, they wait patiently because they are meant for you. Your heart will ache as some familiar faces fade away, but understand, their season is finished. Not everyone can walk into the place heaven is taking you, and releasing them is not rejection but graduation. Bless them in silence and keep walking forward. Archangel Michael is wiping his tears now, for he sees that you are beginning to understand the weight of this message. The regret he warned of will not touch you if you walk in this awareness. Every word you are receiving is a lifeline pulling you out of regret's reach. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. My beloved child, the current of this message still flows, for heaven has not finished unfolding the map before you. Each word is an arrow pointing you closer to safety, closer to clarity, and closer to the destiny already written in the higher places. Do not step away now, because the most crucial revelations are only beginning to take shape. The heaviness you've carried in your chest is a divine signal that truth is brushing against your spirit. That weight is not meant to break you, but to slow you so you can see clearly what would have passed unnoticed. It is heaven's way of keeping you from running into snares set by those who smile falsely. There will be a sudden pause in your routine, something that interrupts your normal flow, an unexpected call, a delayed plan, or a cancelled meeting. Do not resent these interruptions, for they are recalibrations designed to shield you from unseen harm. What you call inconvenience is heaven's intervention. Archangel Michael says his tears have turned to urgency because the time left for hesitation is short. Heaven has been patient, but now the alarms are louder, because the moment of choice has come. This is why you feel the pressure in your spirit even when everything around you looks normal. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. A person who has long observed you quietly will suddenly step forward with words you did not expect. Some of these words will carry genuine care, while others may carry hidden motives. Discern carefully, because not every hand extended is meant to lift you, some seek to pull you back. Your surroundings will begin to feel different, rooms you once felt safe in may now carry a strange heaviness. Pay attention to those shifts in atmosphere, for energy reveals what words try to conceal. Trust your body's first reaction, it often knows before your mind understands. The name of someone tied to this unfolding truth will begin to repeat in your dreams or appear unexpectedly in conversation. That repetition is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Write the name down, for it will play a role in the revelation soon to come. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. Financial shifts are being orchestrated on your behalf. What you thought was loss will soon reveal itself as redirection, funds, opportunities, or doors moving away from one place only to return multiplied in another. Hold steady through the confusion, because clarity will follow closely behind. A person will attempt to use urgency to force you into a quick decision. They will press with flattery or with fear, but both are traps. Real blessings never rush you, they allow you time to breathe and discern. The nights may bring vivid dreams where you see symbols, keys, doors, or water flowing. Each of these carries meaning. Keys are access, doors are choices, and water is cleansing. Do not dismiss them, record them, for their patterns will explain your next step. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. An old connection will resurface soon, and though their tone may seem soft, your spirit will know whether it is genuine or rehearsed. Trust the quiet tightening in your body if it arises, that is your signal to protect your heart. Not every return deserves re-entry. Archangel Michael is still near, steady and unyielding, because he knows how close you are to both danger and breakthrough. He repeats that you must stay alert, stay cautious, and stay open to the confirmations that are aligning around you. The tears he shed were warnings, the strength he offers now is assurance. You are closer than ever to the unveiling that will free you from confusion. Stay faithful in the small practices, breathe, write, reflect, and guard your space. The larger blessing is ready, but your steadiness is the key to unlocking it. Type Amen to get blessing 2828.